Well, switching gears, let's go and focus on Alexis Lafreniere. He's only on pace for 36 points this year, on pace for a career low in goals, a healthy scratch against the Lightning, and loosely, but I mean loosely linked to a potential trade. On a scale of 1 to 10, how likely is it that you see Lafreniere getting moved?
Um, I don't see it very likely, but I will say that if teams are having conversations, I'm sure they're asking about Laf. So, it's you're getting interest from one side. I don't think the Rangers want to deal him. I don't think they've had discussions or will have discussions. I mean, but as far as some back and forth, I believe that there's discussions from one side. If a team's calling and taking an inventory of where things are at or temperature of some of the players, they're asking about Laugh. I mean, when you have a first overall pick that's a healthy scratch, I think that raises some flags for teams, and they want to kind of kick the tires on it. So I don't see him moving. I don't think they should move him. I'm of the camp, and I know there's some split camps here of just being patient with these guys. Most first overall picks go to crappy teams. This isn't a crappy team. This is a team that was 2 games away from the Stanley Cup Finals. Gerard Gallant is in win now mode. I don't blame him at all for the lack of opportunity for those guys. It's it's just where it's at right now, and it's about learning to do. I actually think that these types of things will help these players, Kakko and Laugh, long term, because now they're basically saying, "All right, you can't necessarily play the game that you're used to playing right now for this team because you're not there yet. So if you want to play and be in the lineup, you've got to provide something different." And I think these players are starting to see the compete level. I think of Kaapo and Lafreniere, the battling for pucks. I see an increase in that, and they've been much better. I actually love where Kaapo's game has gone. Kaapo, I always get this backed up. I know you guys do it too. Kakko, no, Kakko. I always know I do it. I do
It's
the K. The K is the last name. It's
it's the
it's reversed.
syllables.
That's how my brain. Yes, it just blows me away every time. So I'll get it right 90% of the time, and I'll mess it up like I did right there. So Kako Capo, I love his game. I said it wrong again. Capo
Yeah,
Kako, his confidence with the puck has been through the roof. And I'll just say KK24. That's better.
there that works.
His confidence with the puck's been through the roof over the last month. I love where his game is. I love how but Gerard Gallant is exposing them to certain things right now. Look at home goalie, 6-on-5. We know Chris Kreider would be on the ice if he was playing against Dallas. But they put Kakko out there, and it's awesome. He's getting that. It's good for his ego. Good for him to. And he went in there, had some good puck retrievals, and then to start the OT, laughs out there. And so these are all moments where it's giving these young players the opportunity to kind of like take a deep breath, like, hey, I'm a piece to this team. And I think that that's something where maybe they haven't felt that the whole time. Yeah, I think that they're learning to do and play the right way. It may not turn into points right now, but I think long term you're going to get two complete players that can play on both sides of the puck.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the Lafreniere starting overtime. You had Lafreniere, Schneider, and Hedel, I believe, three guys
Yeah.
under 24 years old that are starting overtime after that. But you also mentioned Kakko with Lafreniere, with Kreider now being out, Lafreniere playing with Kakko and Zibanejad. Just what that does to possibly his offensive confidence. Only one assist in his last 6 games. Does that boost him, or what do you think that does?
You're talking about Lafreniere, right?
Correct.
Yeah. It's see, but it's tricky. So I was doing the game on radio with Kenny Albert last night, and the one thing I was watching in without Crides, there's a vacancy on the power play. And for a player like Alexis Lafreniere, who was the first overall pick, came in, this guy probably he's run power plays, right? Like power plays went through him. So he thinks a power play a particular way. Well, you can't necessarily do that right here, right now. And he, I'm sure, has been frustrated about not getting some of those reps and some of those opportunities. But at the same time, you can have the mindset of going out there and being like, all right, I need to score because I'm getting an opportunity here. I need to score to get back out on this power play again. And I think that's a dangerous way of doing it. You have a job to do going out there. You're taking the spot of Chris Kreider, one of the best net front power play guys in the National Hockey League. And the net front guy is a different job, different time, or same job, different scenarios where maybe you're trying to keep the goalie back in the blue paint. You're trying to take away the sight vision or the sight lines. You're trying to deflect pucks. But your biggest thing for me on net front presence is puck retrievals. If that shot goes in, puck goes to the corner, you got to be the first guy there. You're a dog on the bone to go get that. And those are the intangibles that you have to have. And I think Laf brought those. He wasn't sitting there thinking like, I got to score. He's thinking you want to buy your next power play shift. You want to buy your next power play game if Kreider's still out. I think he did that. I'm doing a breakdown of it today, actually, on NHL Network, where just all of his puck retrievals on the power play last night. I know the power play was 0 for 4, but he did they had some good looks. He did his job. And I think that speaks to his maturity right there, because again, the easy thing would be, especially for a guy that thinks he's being graded and measured on offense, to say, I got to go out here and score. No, you got to go out there and do the right things. He did all the right things, I think, for the Rangers on the power play.